I'd like to briefly talk about the RFP process, or the request for proposals process, that I found a fair number of nonprofit organizations think is the most effective and fair way to examine their insurance and explore other options that are out there. I cold call a lot of nonprofit organizations, and I'm hearing more and more that not only use this process, but that actually have it written into the organization's bylaws that they're required to use an RFP for specific products or services. Now, I want to talk about it because I don't personally believe that it's the most effective or efficient way to purchase insurance or examine other options that are out there. And here's why. Insurance is a first come, first served model. It's at the insurance carrier level, which means that once one insurance agent has sent in a submission to an insurance carrier, no other agent can access them. Second, insurance is also a very documentation heavy industry. And what I mean by that is every single submission an insurance carrier has already received for your organization is detailed in a very descriptive log that the carriers keep track of, so that if they have information or have received submissions previously, they can go back and review what that looked like. And third, the RFP process I've seen most commonly is, organizations have a short list of insurance agents that they will reach out to when that process is going to start. And they'll ask the insurance agents to put together a presentation and present to the board of directors or a selection committee. And part of that presentation is bring us your best quote. And then we're going to compare the multiple agents and the multiple quotes that we have. And the reason why this process breaks down is because being a first come, first serve industry means that if you're not clearly defining which agents are going to access which markets, or even if you are, you still could have agents that are blocking markets, sending in those submissions so no other agent can access them. And that could just create a frenzy right off the bat, the second those RFPs are received. Because there are detailed records kept by the insurance carriers on every submission they've received, they get to look back and see how many submissions they've received that were complete, because 75% of submissions sent in are not complete. They're missing enough information to provide a quote. And so if you are working with multiple agents and they're sending in these submissions, and you're doing this on a cyclical basis, and the carriers see that. They understand the process you're going through. And so if carrier A has gotten 7 submissions in the last decade or the last 20 years even, but they've never had a true opportunity to quote, or they've never earned your business, they're going to make assumptions, and that submission is not going to be at the top of their stack of work. So, then because you're working with multiple agents, the chance that both the best agent for your organization and the best carrier are not going to be paired up. Because there's very limited options for nonprofit organizations to begin with, and most agents or agencies are not as experienced or well equipped to work with a nonprofit organization, it becomes really challenging to find both the best agent and the best carrier when you're using an RFP process, because the best agent for your organization may not win the carrier luck of the draw. Whether you're assigning carriers as part of the invitation or just saying, go out, do your thing and bring us a quote, it gets really difficult to know which carrier is going to be the best fit at that time, or for any number of reasons. It's just, a lot of organizations find themselves forced to choose between the best carrier and the best agent, because again, rarely are they going to be paired together if you're using RFPs. Now, another reason why asking agents to bring quotes along to their presentation when you're doing an RFP is that it's very difficult not to get anchored to the lowest price. And anchoring ourselves to the lowest price is not usually the best way to make informed decisions or consider all the factors. Because like I said, every agent is unique. Every agent is going to represent your organization differently and work with you differently. So what I would recommend, instead of sending out RFPs, instead of having your agent shop for you on a regular basis or anything along those lines, is, what you want to do is first check with your existing agent. Come up with a list of questions, interview them like you are hiring them to work for your organization. You want to understand what their mindset is, what their process is, and what their approach is, how much value they can provide for your organization. And you may already have a good understanding of what this looks like. And then reach out to some other agents, and don't just Google agents in your area. You want to find agents who, at least you believe at first, are experienced in working with similar organizations or have an approach that resonates with you, because finding the best agent, the best fit for your organization, is one of the best things that you could do as it relates to purchasing insurance. So many agents are very different, because a lot of agents think they have to just bring the best price to win business. That's all they focus on. They don't focus as much on risk management or other added benefits or helping you control your insurance over time so that you have better cost containment, better risk management, and can, have long-term control of your premiums, of the costs associated with insurance and risk that may not be covered by insurance. The more control you have as an insurance buyer, the less likely you are to feel like a victim or like you're at the mercy of insurance carriers, which is how a lot of organizations feel right now. So if you have questions about your process, or you'd like to talk about how, if you are an organization that is required to use RFPs, how you can make them work for you more efficiently, reach out to me. Whether or not I end up being your agent, I believe in the work that nonprofits do, and I'd like for you to be a more informed and a more educated buyer, because that is going to pay dividends for you in the long run.